among other things, when I was, how old are you exactly?
Just turned 20.
Okay, well, I was about 20 years and 4 or 5 months. I was in Korea where, people were shooting each other and all that kind of good stuff. And I determined that around our part of the world, there was nowhere you get a cold soda. Couldn't get a cold soda anyplace. Ice was almost impossible to come by, and that ice that you could get your hands on, unless you were tied up with a mess hall someplace, was generally polluted, so you certainly wouldn't want to drop into a drink. You wind up with all kinds of strange and wonderful things. And I made a connection about 20 miles away in a place called Yangdong-po. I used to buy truckloads of Coca-Cola. 6x6 truckloads. Hauled it back, and then I made a connection for some ice, and I set up my own little store where I sold Coke for a dime. Paid a nickel and sold it for a dime. And made a very substantial amount of money for a guy in that kind of an environment. So I was a hustler then. What does that tell you about me? I would be staying where I am because I would enjoy the combat of the business. The idea of just going off and going to school and doing little else would have had no appeal to me. That doesn't make it right. But you're asking me what I would have done had I had that choice to make at your age. I was in college. It was called, what was the name of the college? Ewha Christian University. That was the little piece of real estate that we were ensconced in at that time. It was a former private girls' school that we were living in. And that's what I was doing when I was your age.
Okay, well, thanks for your input.
Hey, the choice is yours, my friend. And you're fortunate you have a choice, aren't you?
Yes.
I do wish you well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a feeling there's at least 1 or 2 people out there that might have purchased a Coke or two from me. Listen, maybe we'll all hang out. What the hell? The statute of limitations has got to be out by this time. I had a James Way half, which was kind of a portable Quonset hut. The floor was wood, and the outside was canvas, and I had it all boxed in. I had a little houseboy called Mike. And I had a house poker game going on 24 hours a day. And Mike just sat there, took a quarter out of every pot. That's all he did. Every time the guys dealt, he took a quarter. It was all paper money, even paper quarters. And if you sat in the game, you had all the Coke and booze you wanted. My supply was free. And all we did was cut the pot for a quarter. The game went on for like 7 months, 24 hours a day. It was also moderately lucrative at that time. The Korean money was won, W-O-N. The legal exchange rate was 6,000 to $1. Before they devaluated it to W-A-N or W-H-A-N or something, Juan, it got to about 40 to 50,000 to $1. But the legal exchange rate was still, if you went down to the finance office, you still got this lousy 6,000 to $1. Well, anybody with any brains went to see Willie. And I had a whole footlocker full of all kinds of different currencies. And I just worked on the spread. And whatever the spread was, if it was 40,000, I'd give you 38,000 going one way, or take 42,000 going the other way. And everybody used to come to Willie's bank, had credit cards. This is true. You remember how many years ago this was? I printed up little cards like meal tickets, the old-fashioned meal tickets you got in diners with the numbers around the outside edge. And I went into Seoul. When I first started this thing, I found a very unusual coin, Oriental coin of some kind. Might have been Korean for all I know. And after I had these things printed up, then I heated the coin with an acetylene torch till it was real hot, and I would burn the image of the coin into my credit cards so nobody could duplicate my cards. And then I would give the cards out on credit to the guys, and then on payday, you walked up and you signed your name in the payroll book, you saluted the old man, Airman so-and-so reporting, sir, for pay, sir. And there was Willie sitting right next to the old man to collect your money. Everybody, including the commanding officer, on down to the lowest PSC, at the end of the month, owed me money. Yeah, what was I doing when I was your age, son? I'm Bruce Williams. Nothing's changed. This is Talk Dead.